Welcome, ladies.
Just the ladies.
I heard something in my headphones from the other screen, and it threw me off. I heard, y'all
Fuck the
ladies are
men.
crazy.
We're only welcoming women today.
That's right. Welcome, ladies. How are you today?
I don't like single you.
Huh?
I don't like single you. You're already like weirder. It's been like 6 hours.
Listen. I'm not single yet. We still got to go through the whole rigmarole of stuff, and I don't.
Oh, you're gonna say rigor mortis.
You gotta go through the whole rigor mortis of stuff.
Like, that is really single.
I don't know what's easier, like divorce or death. Is it easier?
In my case, probably divorce because he doesn't have a big enough life insurance policy.
But I mean, like the whole shebang, though, like going through the whole thing, like, is it easier? Like, if
It
they
was
just
like my
are
first
no longer
marriage.
on Earth, like you don't have to worry about it, or like
Like,
seeing them on their
yeah.
face, like coming across them on social media, and like seeing them with somebody, and like, oh, like they used to be happy with me like that. Well, I don't know.
Well, my first marriage, it took 5 years for him to accept that I filed for divorce. He had been living with my best friend for all of the 5 years. I don't know. And it was funny. The day I told him that I filed for divorce, I needed to know where to send the papers. He's like, "What's the rush? Um, you're living with someone else, and we've been separated for 5 years."
Yeah, you're with my best friend. I think that's the rush.
I don't care about that. She can have him. It's like, thank you for taking him off my hands. Like, thank you. But I don't know. I don't plan on divorcing Mitch, but I don't
Death
think it
by
would. What?
It said, as Bender from Futurama would say, "Bite my shiny metal ass. I prefer death by snoo."
And that I think is a huge problem in this country. Is it legit took me about a half an hour to marry Mitch, but because we have a kid and we have assets, it would take months and tons of money and tons of lawyers to get divorced. But all I
Yeah,
had to do was sign a paper and say yes in front of a magistrate in a jail. And
we didn't.
bam, I was
We
married.
we didn't even have to do that. All we have to do is sign paperwork that said you want to get married, and that was it. So it was like it was it was pretty easy. I'm just hoping that it's easier to go our separate ways. And like okay, and let me say this, okay, because people are gonna come in here and start seeing things, and we just fucking took off. We went on fucking.
You are glitching a lot.
I don't know why. I
No,
mean,
like you just froze. Like
because I
physically, not computer wise.
uh, because I got multiple things going on at the same time.
This
Okay,
is my
so
time with you.
so let me
This is
let
my 2 hours.
can you shut up for 2 seconds for the love of God? So
One Mississippi, two Mississippi. This is my 2 hours.
I'm trying.
My phone is in sleep mode.
You're gonna be in sleep mode tomorrow when I get up there. I'm just gonna.
And when I
Okay.
said just tell me when, I kind of meant like on a Tuesday, tell me I'll be there Saturday.
Okay.
Not
But
like I'll be there tomorrow morning.
well, I'm not gonna be there tomorrow morning. It's gonna take me a couple hours to get there. I'll probably be there sometime tomorrow afternoon. But can I? Me and my soon-to-be ex-wife, we came to an agreement that some people just don't belong together. Some people just help each other out of situations, and maybe you shouldn't be together, and you you fall out, like, not fall out of love, because I still love her. I love, she's a great person. She's a great mom. Um, but there's things about each other that we don't like, that that we can't look past. So it's better to just cut it off um now than, I mean, and it's not like we got married in a church or anything. It was literally sign this, congratulations, you're married. So it's like, I mean, the way it's done nowadays, it should be more, ceremonial, but it wasn't what it was supposed to be. And I thank her every day that she got me out of a situation that I didn't know how to get out of. And,
It's that
and we,
situation called Jersey.
yeah, pretty much. Like, listen, she got me out of Jersey. She got me to start these podcasts. She got me to get on a motorcycle. She's helped me through a lot of stuff. She's made me realize that she got me, so, like, she didn't get me sober, but she helped me get sober. I'll be 2 years. I'll be 2 years in a couple of days, So she helped me through a lot of shit, and I helped her through a lot of shit, realizing that I was a piece of shit. But we helped each other, and so ending it amicably before we totally resent each other is the best way, and and it's cool, man. I feel like I can be myself again. She's more reserved, and I'm a goofy bastard, and and
That's like the opposite. Like,
like
I'm the
complete.
goofy bastard and he's reserved.
But, like, I mean,
Well, like, I sent him a link. The zoo was doing a whodunit night for adults,
Mhm.
like a murder mystery thing. Let me see exactly what he said.
But, like,
Hold on, I'm right there. No,
don't ever fucking say that again, ever.
he was like, that's not meant to be an opportunity. I said, okay, but hear me out. If everyone is extracted trying to find out who done it, I could easily take a giraffe. And he said, I refer to my previous statement. And I said, I don't understand what you mean. And he's like, how many overpasses are between here and the zoo? Did you ever see Hangover 3?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He constantly...
You just want a giraffe head is all you want.
No, I don't. But he knew that I'd be traumatized by thinking about how that poor giraffe died.
She loves giraffes too. I've bought her multiple things with giraffes. But yeah, it's I didn't want that account. Oh no. But yeah. So listen, I wish her nothing but the best. I really think that she's a great person, and she's going to, and I hope she takes the time that she needs to find herself. I need to find myself. I haven't been single in 22 years. I've jumped from relationship to relationship since I was 17. I didn't have a real relationship till I met my daughter's mother, and I fell head over heels for her. And then, she kind of did what she did and kind of broke me. And, dude, I used to be such a douchebag, man. I was so bad. Yeah, I was, dude, I was fucking. So the mother of my daughter used to pick me up and take me to my girlfriend's apartment. Yeah.
I'm gonna choke on my food.
Yeah. I used to fucking, we used to get into like heated arguments. Mind you, Cal, for my entire life when I was a kid, I begged.
Trying to swallow. Hold on.
Don't ever fucking say that again
either. Be happy about that, Chris. That is a good thing.
Listen, so we used to get into like fights, and mind you, Cal, I would wish for a girlfriend so bad. And then when I got one, I treated her like absolute garbage. Like, we used to argue all the time, and I used to leave and walk, and then I would make her feel bad for making me leave. And then like, and I was a piece of shit. Like, and I told my daughter, I understand why your mom has such disdain for me, and I I I don't like hate her for it. It's
I
not
was
working.
doing
ASMR,
good.
yeah.
Good.
I don't hate her for it. I completely understand it. I was a douchebag, and then I jumped into another relationship, and I jumped into another relationship, and then when I got divorced, like I was like, I'm free. I'm gonna do what I want, and then I jumped into another relationship.
You sound like my friend.
Yeah,
He has gotten married and divorced like 5 times in the
I said
11
I
years I've
would.
been with Midge.
I said first I would never get divorced. Then I said I'd never get remarried, and then I said I would never get divorced again. And here I am doing everything. You never say never because you never know. But I feel, and in my journey that I'm still on, God has a plan, and I'm going to let Him play out the plan. And I keep trying to force things to happen, and it doesn't turn out the way it's supposed to. Once again, and with when me and Trish first got together, I was a douchebag. Also, I was a drunk. I was an angry drunk. I didn't know who. I didn't know she was there as a mental punching bag. She was my mental punching bag. So I understand a lot of the things that we had our conversation about, and and I I don't and I understand why. Not that I don't understand, but I understand why.
Yeah.
And she's been her entire life. She's been taking care of people because that's the type of person she is, and she's never gotten to find herself. So, you know, it's good that we both are on this path where we need to find ourselves. And I'm a 40-year-old man, okay, and I don't know who the fuck I am. I really don't. I have no idea who I am. I don't know what it's like to be alone. I've always had somebody care for me and take care of me, and and I need to grow up and take care of myself, and
You need to
and
sow your oats.
yeah, and just relax. And like I know myself, I'm like the first girl who shows me a love and affection, I'm gonna be like, you want to get married? Like, and I gotta tell my dude.
Oh God, poor Nymeria.
At least you lick my face.
She likes faces, ears, elbows, knees, and toes.
I don't. Zoe's the same way. Zoe nudges and she just like Zoe will sit there and she'll lick my arm, and then I'll go, and I'll look at her and she'll look at me like this, and then she'll go, and I'll go, stop it, and she'll go and she'll look at me, and she'll look back and she goes, and I just like I have to fucking throw her off me. Like, would you fucking stop? You know. Another thing is like, and she's not a. You know how we are in the East Coast. We bust balls. Like I think we talked about this last week or the week before. Like the sixth love language is busting balls, and she's
Mhm.
not like that. She's not a busting like she said to me. We were talking about it, and I'm like, and she's like, yeah, but it hurts my feelings when you do that, and you just continually did it anyway. And I was like, yeah, I get that, but it's kind of like how I show affection. It's not like I'm doing it on purpose to make fun of you. She's like, yeah, but it hurt. And I'm like, I apologize for that. I mean,
God,
but
Spike's face when you made fun of my trafficking.
yeah,
It
it's
was, I'm like, it's okay. Yeah, it's funny.
people don't get it. But I mean, and I was talking to somebody, and when I tell them that that the podcast we do, and I tell them
Podcast.
the postcast, when I told them the postcast that we do, and I tell them like you're kind of like your situation, and I go yeah, and then I just sit there and make fun of her about it, and they go, you what? And I go yeah, and they
I
go
know everyone, like my friends say it too, and they're like, well, what are you guys going to talk about tonight? Well, he'll probably make fun of me for being trafficked about 17 times, maybe 20. And they're like, he makes jokes about it. I'm like, yeah, they're funny. I was like, one time I told him he was out of control and he asked me to send him to my parents to get put in the basement. And they're like, that's horrible. I'm like, no, the word is funny that you're looking for.
yeah, I mean, and yeah, and I tell them that, and I go because like it can't. The world is not so serious, and we have to stop taking everything so seriously. Things can be made fun of. The poor. You want to talk about And I said this before, equality. You want to talk about equality? Equality is everybody busting balls and be able to take their balls busted,
Mm-hmm.
and not getting, well, you can't make fun of me because I'm non-binary, hominogen, bologna sandwich, undergarment, pterodactyl. And it's
Nobody
like,
says that, but okay.
you know, oh man, there's gonna be a lot of punching. You better wear fucking
I got a
uh
crossbow and a bow and arrow,
yeah,
and
and
I'm not scared of you.
listen, you better wear what's that? You better wear a bubble wrap tomorrow because I'm coming in with a flying elbow.
My husband will beat your ass.
I know I'll jump off the couch and he'll pick me up, carry me lovingly to the bedroom. Anyway, but yeah, no, it's dreamed of what would happen if someone took a well, I mean,
I
Chris,
need
you
new
might
friends.
you might have some latent homosexual.
Like, I need new friends.
No, you don't have any friends. You need friends.
Well, I have
Period.
you. I have
Yeah.
Chris. But I need new. Y'all are fucked
Ta-da!
up.
That's it. But yeah, man, the thing is, joking around is the best way to like, if you take things way too seriously, your life has got to suck. Like vegetarians, life must suck. Can you imagine just like,
Have
oh,
you seen the vegetarian horse race?
no.
Let me see if I can get it.
I've seen, dude, do not put in vegetarian dog or vegetarian cat into Twitter or YouTube. Cause you wanna talk about murking some people? These people feed their cats and dogs vegetarian food.
I know, they're fucking idiots.
Like how? Like why? Why? Why would you do that? Why would you feed your dog or cat vegetarian food? Oh, this is what I wanted to play. Like, look, you want to talk about racial harmony? This right here.
Hold on. I'm showing something. You're gonna love it, I promise.
This right here is what Kelly's gonna show because Kelly is selfish and just wants to show.
I just said I was gonna look for it.
Oh my God. Can you raise the volume on this? I want to hear this. I mean, it's in Finnish, but it's on the other side. Oh,
it's all the way up.
They're
not really talking.
I'm gonna have nightmares. How do you talk to a girl that does that? Like, what's the conversation? Like,
well, number one, you wouldn't want to because she's a vegan.
But what do you like? How do you start a conversation? So, what kind of wood do you use for a dowel? Do you?
No, you're allowed to joke, Chris. It's just my friends are I don't know. They're inappropriate.
You have two, okay? Don't say
no. I
friends
actually
like
have a lot of friends. I just got off the phone with my friend discussing baby.
Your Roblox pets are not considered friends in real life. Okay,
no, madam? This is a real life friend. She's a human being. She's pregnant. I won't say her name because she hasn't announced it. And we were discussing baby names earlier. And I told her how to gaslight her.
She hasn't announced her name?
That she's pregnant.
Oh. I'm not going to announce her name because she hasn't. I'm not going
I
to say
said
her name
my
because she
friend
hasn't
is
announced
pregnant.
it.
I'm not going to say her name because she hasn't announced yet that she's pregnant.
I thought you meant that she didn't tell everybody her name yet.
Well, we were talking baby names, and I'm teaching her how to gaslight her husband into, letting her pick the name she wants that he doesn't like.
You're an awful person.
I have 3 kids.
They have 3 kids?
I have 3 kids,
Okay,
and my ex didn't like my oldest daughter's name.
so you gaslit him into.
No, it was easier for him. He was in jail. He wasn't there. What?
I'm. The fact that your ex-husband was in jail for the 3 kids you had with him?
No, just the first one. He was there for the second, and the third is Mitch's.
And you gaslit poor Mitch into letting you name your
Okay,
son.
so technically, no.
No.
Let me talk. He did not want me to name him after a TV character because my other daughters were. So when I picked Owen's name, I just didn't tell him that it was one of my favorite doctors on Grey's Anatomy. And then I watched Grey's Anatomy while he was in the room, and I was like, fuck.
I've never, ever, ever, ever told this story. Ever. I've never told it to Trish. I've never told it to Diane. I've never told it to. I don't even think I told it to Madison's mother. Do you want to know why my daughter's name is Madison? My buddy used to put up pictures of naked women all over his room, and the one girl's name was Madison.
Carlos.
I'm sorry. I'm still laughing. It was because I'd never heard that name at that time. At that time, it was like, what was it? Like all these I don't even know what the names were back in the 2000s. I have no idea what people named their kids.
They were terrible names.
But I was like Madison. I've never heard that name. That's a different name. So I was like, okay, Madison.
So you named your daughter after a porno model that you probably whacked off to a couple of times.
No, that was the only time I've ever seen that. I've ever seen that girl. I don't even remember what she looks like. I just saw the name on the bottom, and I was like, "Oh, that's a great name."
I need new friends.
But I mean, her middle name's Alicia from Alicia Keys because Alicia Keys, Madison's mom met Alicia Keys while she was pregnant. And Alicia Keys held Madison while she was in her stomach.
Well, that's like what I said to my friend, though. I was like, you really don't realize how many people you hate until you try picking a baby name.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, what about this name? Oh, no, I had a cunt like that. I went to high school.
But not even that, just.
I was named that when I went to high school.
But like the nicknames you give like to people, Dickhead Dave, Cunt
Smelly
Kelly, Smelly Kelly, even though Siri calls you Smiley Kelly.
Siri's just like, telling you that you're not unique enough.
Maybe.
I always got Kelly Belly, Smelly Kelly. Then they called me Ricola or Ricola because of what we had to do, like a whole heritage thing, and what my maiden name was before it got cut in half. It doesn't sound anything like the cough drops, but they used to buy me the Ricola cough drops all the time.
I was nicknamed FDR for Fat Dave. My last name. I don't like to say it online, even though people know. But yeah, Fat Dave was my nickname.
No. So, my one friend, he called me Small Fry because, like, I loved French fries.
We know.
And I'm small. I used to be small. I'm fat now, but I mean, I was teeny. Did I show you a picture of me when I was skinny?
Yes. When you were all rend out.
What the fuck does that mean?
Heroined out.
No, I wasn't rend out, dipshit. Oh my God. It was before.
before you discovered the white highway or whatever they call it.
It's brown.
Whatever. But yeah, so I mean, it is what it is. I'm going to let and give it up to God and let God handle it. And I'm going to go and have a good time and go.
Yeah, see, I used to be hot.
I can, yeah. I would have looked at you 1.5 times, but that's
And I
about it.
had an ass on me.
Now you have one on your chin.
No, it was a beautiful ass.
What?
Here's me and Mitch at the concert we went to.
Aw,
We're so cute.
you're so lucky to have him. You really are.
I know.
You
I
are
don't.
really lucky to have him.
I know. I don't know how I scored that and how I haven't chased him away yet. But
Autism.
something. Oh, you got to see this.
But yeah, I
Look
mean,
at how this little shit fucking sleeps. Her head is right here, by the way. And her butt is right there.
Yeah.
But she loved the Barbie movie.
she's a beautiful dog. She really is.
She is gorgeous.
I can't wait to give her a hug. But
She's
yeah,
gonna
so
run from you for a while.
it's fine.
And you can't come near me, she'll growl at you.
Women usually run from me for a while and then realize.
Well, you name your kids after porn stars, so it's not that
She wasn't
shocking.
a porn star. She was just a name on the thing.
Oh, she wasn't a star.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I didn't even know who she was. I just saw the name Madison. I was like, oh, that's a good name. And then I guessed that her mother into name her Madison. I guess I did the same thing. I'm a piece of shit.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you find a name that you really like, but your
Yeah.
husband or or wife doesn't, you pick out hideous names. So then they go with the best choice. So you say like Myrtle. You just pick out ugly names.
I think
And when you're the woman, you just tell him you want a cheeseburger from the cafeteria and you sign the paperwork while he's down there.
Listen, this is what it is. But like, I mean, I think it was between Madison and Christina. It was the two. And I think like everybody's name was naming their kids Christine or Christy or Christina back then. So I didn't want that. I wanted, at that time, Madison was different. Now there's fucking,
we had the Nevaehs and what is that symbol on my computer?
Nevaeh?
Yeah, Nevaeh. It's
What?
heaven spelled backwards. Oh, this is cool. I didn't know.
Yeah. But so if you want to bring harmony back together, this is how you do it.
Why is a woman like a condom?
Why?
Because they both spend more time in your wallet than on your dick.
Yep.
What's slimy, cold, long, and smells like pork?
I don't know.
Kermit the Frog's finger.
Okay. What's the difference between a priest and a pimple?
What?
A pimple doesn't come on your face till you're a teenager.
Wow. That's gonna get us shut down. How do you get a nun pregnant?
I don't know.
Dress her up as an altar boy.
I used to be an altar boy. But that shit never happened to me. Why don't black people go on cruises?
Why?
Because they already been fooled by that shit once.
That's racist, man.
That was decent. Why is a woman...
You didn't blind react to the video I sent you.
I still haven't seen it. I will.
Do it now. Just do it now. Play it now.
All right. Let me see. Messages. Come on, you fooker. Go to messages. Wait, you sent me on
TikTok. They took
just-
down the Blackhead video movie or TikTok.
Huh?
The Blackhead remover.
Yeah.
I'm just happy everyone got to see it before it got taken down, and all my friends are pretty much in agreement that they're going to hell for laughing at it. I was like, I'll see you there.
0.9. A good thing ruined by a period. What is 6?
That and listen, that's my
Okay.
girl. That's my girl right there too.
Who is it?
Anne Hathaway.
Oh, that's what I thought. But all right, so I have a
that's my
funny
girl
story
right
about
there.
periods. So Nymeria
Her and
went
Jennifer Love Hewitt. Oh man. Oh, that's my girl. And Danielle Fishel.
Nymeria went into heat, and this was like a few months ago. I thought I had until she was 1, but I didn't. She went into heat like right at 9 months. So I woke up and I noticed blood, and I'm like, did I have like a bloody nose or something? And then in the car, I realized I'm like, oh, she's in heat. And Owen was like, what does that mean? I'm like, like when mommy gets her period. He's like, that can't be right. She's nice. I'm like, get out of my car.
He's not wrong. The boy's not wrong.
Oh, I was like screaming at Mitch yesterday, like mid yell. I'm like, shit, I think I'm getting my period, and I'm a little angrier than I should be. Well, okay, so my therapist sent me a questionnaire because we're doing like diagnostic testing.
Uh-huh.
So I changed some of the questions. That was Mitch's reaction. I added notations in the side. They didn't apply to me, so I changed them to make them apply.
So just answer no.
It was on a scale of 0 to 10.
So the answer's 0.
But I made it apply. My
My
therapist is okay with it. Like, he said he expected it. But Mitch was just like he got all quiet. I'm like, what? He's like, what do you mean, what? And I'm like, I need, some of them needed changing. And one of the questions was if I thought that the CIA was spying on me. And I said yes. And I put a notation. It's been proven in the congressional hearings, so I'm not schizophrenic. Actually, it said, do you believe? And I crossed out, do you believe? And said, is the CIA. Listen, if I'm going to pay $150 a week to see a therapist, I'm going to make it worth it. What's wrong with that? And he said it was fine.
You can't just change the questions on things. Like, that's not how that's not how this works.
I did. And I made notations. Like, it asked if my feminine area if I ever experienced pain for no reason. I said that's very personal, Mark. It's my therapist's name. And then I also notated that most of the time there is one, I just don't know it. Like I'm about to get my period or something. I'm like 90% sure that my therapist needs a therapist after his sessions with me.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like Dr. Melfi from the fucking Sopranos. Well, Mark is. Poor Mark is like Dr. fucking Melfi. He's like, she goes to see her own, he has to see his own therapist. He's like, yeah, I whacked somebody. How did that make you feel? Well, it felt pretty good. Well, what did he say? He said he whacked somebody and it made him feel good. This is, yeah. You're like Tony Soprano going to therapy. But listen, I got something that I need to share. I know everybody's seen him on TikTok, but this song is just fire. You haven't seen this dude?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I've been selling my soul, working all day,
Damn.
overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. All it is, living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. 'Cause the rich men, 'cause the rich men.
That was a good song.
I love that. That voice is just amazing.
Mhm.
I love that graspily, raspy voice, man. I was
I
got
know
into the-
someone that like specifically started smoking to get the raspy voice.
oh, dude, like I've been into. I just Biz sent me something. The Teskey brothers. Oh, holy crap! That is my jam right there. I put that on, and just that fucking that song is fucking it is, and that dude is just skyrocketing right now. He is on everybody's FYP. I mean,
Except mine.
between your FYP is kids in cages and dogs, but
Do not finish that sentence.
the sentence was over.
Okay.
That was
You
it.
know, I thought there was going to be something weird about dogs. No, when Mitch was in the army,
No, just fucking dogs. That's it. Kids
so
in cages and dogs roaming
right.
free. How fucked up is that? You got the kids in the cages and you let the dogs run all over the place.
all right, so I have two things I wanted to talk about. This one is because of what you just said. So when Mitch was at Fort Bragg, a wife got arrested for making animal porn with her and her dog. Yeah. So of course,
Why? Like I
don't
really
know. People
don't
are
get
fucking
that.
weird.
I know people have problems, but like the
And
dog.
it's not just her, it's the demand. There is a demand for it.
I know. I've seen.
So
It's disgusting.
well, they did like a safety briefing. Like the military does it for everything. And they said, please tell your wife not.
Please don't let your dog come on your wife's face, please.
No.
don't-
It was don't videotape it. Not don't. So my husband says, well, what about our chickens? This is going on Twitter, isn't it? I wasn't done.
I gotta put these back on. I don't want to, but I gotta put these back on.
So the response was, tell her not to tape that. Well, that's the military. They don't care if you fuck animals. Just don't tape it.
I mean, The military creates a lot of animals, so
They're bad. Like we
my face hurts. My face hurts. I stopped breathing. I was in the corner trying to breathe. That's why I was in the corner. I was trying to breathe. I can't.
I've got tons of stories about the military. It's great, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. I forgot to bring this up to you. So what's yesterday? It came on. It's
The
it's
chicken?
not a it's not a documentary. It's a fictionalized thing about Purdue Pharma and creating OxyContin. It's a 6-episode series. Have you seen it yet? Well, they did one on Hulu, and the one on Hulu is just so crazy. It's very emotional. It focuses on the addicts more than it does Purdue Pharma. The way Netflix
Wait. The chicken people made OxyContin?
Purdue Pharma is a pharmaceutical company. When the Stacklers took over, they made it was called MS Cotton, and it was morphine, and it was for cancer patients. It's not a pharmaceutical company anymore. They went bankrupt, and but they're the ones that made OxyContin.
I want to make a joke so badly about picking cotton, but I'm not going to. I'm just
Okay.
going to throw that out there
Okay.
and let everybody.
This is contin, not cotton.
I thought
There's
you
an
said. I thought you said.
OxyContin.
Oh, I thought you said pharma, Purdue content.
No, Purdue Pharma, like pharmaceuticals. OxyContin.
Okay.
So anyway, when the one on Hulu is Dope Sick, the one on
Yeah.
Netflix is Painkiller. So Hulu is a very emotional show. Michael Keaton plays a doctor in it that gets addicted. And they give so much information on the shady shit that Purdue Pharma did. Like they created the addicts and they
Yeah.
created the opiate crisis.
Yeah.
And like, the pain chart, the 1 through 10 pain, they created that. They created the term breakthrough pain because they had a label on it that it was not addictive. And if people were building a resistance to it, then it was addictive. So they said, well, your patient is experiencing breakthrough pain, so give them a higher dose. The way Hulu did it was beautiful. But Netflix made it like the Wolf of Wall Street. Like the guy that plays Ferris Bueller is the main guy at Purdue.
Holy crap! I can't think of his name. Holy. Yeah.
I know. I can't remember his name. That's why I said Ferris Bueller.
I love
Michael
my-
Broderick.
Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, it just was so like they had in the beginning of every episode that, names, things are changed for dramatic things, but this is not changed. This is my kid. They overdosed. They passed away at this age. And I mean, they tried, and then they go on and basically show that they were essentially whoring out the drug reps. They were recruiting very pretty girls to basically go do all this. And the one thing was, when it came out, how addictive it was, blame the addicts. To say that we had no idea that this was addictive. We had no idea that this was a problem. So junkies were around before and they're going to be around after. It's not our fault. They're the only company that was charged criminally. Like, that's how serious what they did was.
You mean the horse's husband?
she's so ugly.
Yeah. Yeah, she is. Yeah, she is. And
But
she's
it's like
she's like a tiny little thing too. She's like this. Well, she used to be like this big, and she got a giant head.
so. Have you've heard of methadone, right?
Yes.
Okay. What did
I've
you
heard of a
hear about
methadone clinic.
What did you hear about methadone?
They have their own clinic.
Okay, but what does it do?
I have no fucking idea.
Okay, so they say that methadone and Suboxone are only
Detox.
used for treatment of detox.
Yeah.
They also said that they block the effects of opiates. So if I'm on methadone and I take any other opiate, I won't feel it. That's a lie.
Really?
And they're also used to treat chronic pain. And it's just, I'm just like, Jesus Christ, like, just thinking about like how much these pharmaceutical companies are flat out fucking lying about shit.
Yeah.
And they just got away with it. And
Well,
what Purdue Pharma did, instead of going to trial, I guess Rudy Giuliani had a piece in this.
Really? Who? Vinny Giuliani?
Whatever. They just paid a fine.
You said Painkiller is the one?
Yeah, that's the one on Netflix. But it's like they pay fines. And who are they paying it to? Congress. How is Congress using that money that they're getting in these fines to fix the problem? And it's like the thing that like bothers me the most is I see pain doctors on TikTok and talking about how horrible doctors are for not treating pain. They sound exactly like the reps from Purdue Pharma and how they were told to convince doctors to prescribe this really heavy narcotic. And then I get attacked when I said nobody needs an opiate. They think they want them. They don't need them. What are you doing?
Keyboard isn't working. It's fucking keyboard ain't working. I'm trying to pull up the
trailer. You want me to do it?
Yeah, please. I put painkiller cocktails, painkiller drink recipe, painkiller medicine, painkiller for dog, painkillers list, pain pills, painkiller dilaudid, painkiller drugs, painkiller for toothpaste.
You lie, you hurt people, you go down.
You ever prosecute a company as big as Purdue Pharma?
All of human behavior is essentially comprised of two things. Run from pain, run toward pleasure. Pain, pleasure, pain, pleasure. If we place ourselves right there between pain and pleasure, we will never have to worry about money again.
Pain is no longer something we have to tolerate. We have an answer.
How can something legally prescribed be killing so many people?
Tell me what words you associate with oxycodone.
Oxy what?
Oxycontins.
Excuse me? Don't put that in the notes.
We are under investigation.
Could you tell me everything you know about Oxycontin?
You like horror movies?
Maybe the bad things.
You will be convincing doctors to take pain seriously.
Oxycontin is the one to start with and the one to stay with. The more you prescribe, the more you'll help.
It is now the #1 opioid in the country.
This drug is permeating every part of our community.
You're the cutest little Oxycontin kitten we've seen in a minute. If it's working,
Which it is.
we can increase the dose. Let's kick you up to 40 milligrams.
It doesn't just kill people. It destroys the families and friends.
You're a drug dealer with a ponytail.
You bought that car with the death of a 16-year-old girl.
They are doing the exact same thing as every crack dealer in America, except they are getting rewarded for it.
He is in pain. He is addicted to pills, and it's your fault.
They know they are killing people. Richard Sackler, hello? You did a good job making all that money, sir.
Thank you.
If you don't get out of my way, I'll run you over with my car and crush your skull.
That woman's a district attorney.
Then you'll give me Oxycontin to make it right.
So now, hold on, because it's still going off in my ear. Now, and I have a point to why I'm bringing up the dope sick one. So this is the one that Hulu put out. Shut up.
People all across this great nation are in pain. They have hard lives.
Are you still sore?
I can't work here no more.
I'll be all right.
And we have the cure. This new miracle drug, OxyContin. You will be the largest sales force in pharmaceutical history. Make your doctors feel special. Take them to expensive dinners. Bribe the receptionist with a mani-pedi. Whatever it takes to win their trust.
KFC.
The talking point are these magic words.
Less than 1% of people get addicted to OxyContin.
That's not possible.
I can't live like this anymore.
Let's start you on this. Call it a miracle drug. You only take 2 a day.
I think I can make this the biggest drug in the world.
I think maybe that medicine might be just a tad more addictive than you said.
That's not what we're hearing.
Something is happening here. There might be a unique situation brewing.
A pharma company is lying about their medication.
We have to go after the makers of Oxycontin.
My patients trusted me. I can't believe how many of them are dead now.
We're going to do everything in our power to make sure justice is served.
We're going to cure the world of its pain.
So,
You know where I can get some? I want to be cured of pain.
shut the fuck up. But so obviously this hits close to home for me because I'm a recovering addict and it was my doctor's fault ish. So in Dope Sick, they talk about how Purdue Pharma was telling doctors that if you were under 60 milligrams of any opiate, you cannot withdraw and you cannot get addicted. So doctors were just taking them off and taking patients off of it without, thinking
Lowering the
anything was
doses?
wrong with that. Yeah, they weren't weaning them off. And a lot of people think that when addicts say it started with a prescription, and in most cases it does, that they're chasing the high, but that's not what it is. It's they're still in pain. And the bounce back pain during withdrawal is like 100-fold to the original pain. Hulu portrayed that and talked about that and focused on the damage that was done to the patients. There's 2 patients that they follow. One passed away. That's why it said you bought that car off the death of a 16-year-old. But all of it was about Purdue and the parties and the reps and the conferences. And they did this with the Fry Festival documentaries.
Which was awesome. That Netflix documentary was awesome.
Yeah, but did you watch the Hulu one?
No.
Okay.
No.
See, the Netflix one painted whatever douchebag's name was as he did everything he could. But in the Hulu documentary, he knew that everything that happened, he knew it was going to happen. He knew he didn't have the money. He knew he didn't have housing. He knew that
No,
people were backing out.
The Netflix one
But
knew
they,
that.
yeah,
That-
but
that-
they make it look like it was just a series of
the Netflix? Are you sure you
yeah.
sure?
The
Because
Netflix one made it appear that whatever the dude's name was that it was just a bunch of unfortunate events that led to it. And that's not the truth of what happened with Fry Festival. And you see that in the Hulu documentary where they actually talk about and get real into depth about all the different things that he did to fuck up to make the things happen that happened.
I'm listening.
Okay. You're just texting and being rude.
Somebody wants to watch the show and asking where because it's not on Rumble.
But it's like, how, like, I don't understand what is wrong with Netflix, because anytime they do something that Hulu does, it's like they stick up for the bad guys, but Hulu sticks up for the victims.
See, I didn't see that when I watched it on Netflix. The Fry documentary.
Watch the Hulu one.
I will. I'll check that one out.
And I watched them both in the
Fire.
same day.
The Fire
Festival.
In,
That's right.
With my understanding with the Fire Fest on Netflix, he was a douchebag from the beginning, and for me, I could tell that they knew all this shit was gonna be. Jesus, they knew it was gonna be fucked up from the beginning. Like, all these people canceling and not coming through and all this stuff. Like, so I had a feel like, and he came off as a douche. Like, he came off as a hey, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make them pay this, and then and so I don't like I said, to me,
they didn't even have anyone scheduled.
No,
when they did the whole orange thing on social media, it's terrible. But I'm telling you, watch the Hulu one and watch the Netflix, and you'll see the differences. And it's like with Painkiller versus Dope Sick. Dope Sick, I mean, shows the patients. It shows the doctor trying to help his patients. I mean, they really focused on the people that were the most affected. This documentary shows protests that and people attacking the reps and that kind of
it's not
stuff.
a documentary. It's like a
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, you could tell that from the trailer. Like, Dave, people at parties, like having fun, and then the other one was like more serious. Like, you saw the girl going through the trying to get it off the streets and all that stuff. I mean, both of them, you saw that, but the other one, like, you saw the girl like getting sick and shaking, and I remember, dude. I remember, so I may or may not have had a friend back in the day that found out how to write like a doctor, and had people go in and use other people's insurances to get them.
Mm-hmm.
And,
well, see, when I was going through my addiction, it was in Florida with the pill the pill mills. And they do touch on that a little bit in the Netflix, but they don't touch on it exactly how it was. All you had to do was bring in an x-ray. It didn't matter what was on it. All you had to do was bring in an x-ray, and they would just they were giving out Roxasets, which is an instant release version of the Oxycontin. And if you went to a mom and pop pharmacy, you could fill at different pharmacies. And that's when there was doctor shopping. Like, it was terrible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. I was, like I said, I had a friend who did that stuff. And so he gave me an 80 one time. He gave me an 80. And he's like, dude, have you ever done anything like this? And I said, yeah, I've had, Percocet or whatever. And he goes, okay, what you do is, you want to cut this into 4. And I went, oh, okay. I cut it in half.
Oh, you were wrecked.
Bro. Half hour later, I was like, I did not feel good at all. And then he gave me and I was like, yo, you got a soda or something? I drank half the soda and instantly, like, it
Vomited
was
it.
like a volcano. And I felt so fucking sick.
Yeah.
I was
Well, and-
so sick from that stuff. Like, I was like, it felt so bad. Like, you feel so bad. I was addicted to morphine for years after a motorcycle accident. Yeah, people get addicted to this stuff, and what sucks about it is, when they take you off of that stuff, like the lengths people go to try to get that fix, and now they go to street drugs, and that's and like, you ever see Requiem for a Dream?
God, yeah.
That movie fucked me up.
Basketball Diaries too.
Yeah. That movie fucked me up so badly that like I feel like at the end of that movie, I felt so terrible. Like, I never wanted to be with someone that got addicted to that, because like, you just watching the poor girl is in a fucking double dill show, and to do it so that way her boyfriend can get his fix, and and I'm getting sick now just thinking, like, I personally, okay, I cheated a long time ago, and I stopped because I started to think of the other side. Like, if I were to be cheated on, like, that would be the worst thing ever. Like, I would, you know how like you feel dirty and you can't clean it off? That's how I'd feel. That's how I feel. And so, like, I stopped. Like, if anybody sees this, a long time ago. And I felt like that. And I felt for the guy who got cheated on. Like, because this poor guy is like now sitting there, his wife, girlfriend, whatever, is now like tainted by another guy. Like, I don't care what you did before me. I don't care what you do after me. Like, but if we're together, like that, that's an image that'll just haunt you forever. And so that movie like made me sick to think of this girl did this for him, and in her mind she did it for him to make him feel better, but like in his mind, you don't know where his mind would have gone. Like, I don't know, like, personally, to me, I don't understand people like upside down pineapples and swiping. I don't understand it right now in my life.
I don't even know where that came from, because I know
either.
swingers that say the upside down pineapple is bullshit.
Yeah. But I mean, just the whole swinging thing, I don't get right now. I'm 40, so maybe I'll get it later on in life. I have no fucking idea.
I think
like,
that's something you get earlier in life.
Oh, okay. But the whole swing, like, I couldn't share. Like, that's an intimate thing I do with somebody who, like, it's an intimate thing. Like, so seeing my significant other kiss or suck on somebody or having somebody inside them, like, that
put it up on the screen so they know what we're laughing at.
Thanks, Wub. That's not upside down, but okay. So like that kind of stuff, like it makes me sick. Like that, and just to think of somebody being a woman being raped, like those two things make me so like physically ill that I want to go out and murk people who like that happens to.
Like, that's how a lot of kids end up getting trafficked, because their parent can't pay for their drugs.
Brings home a pineapple?
No, their parents can't pay for their drugs, so they give their kid to their dealer. But it is so sad, because I've lost at least 4 dozen friends in 10 years to overdoses. Like, I have one friend that has we say we survived the opiate pandemic. But it's like, I shouldn't have survivor's guilt at 40 years old because I made it through my addiction, but I do because so many people are dying. And when I first started, and this is not the addiction while I was trafficking, I've learned to separate the two.
Mm-hmm.
But I won't get into details, but someone told me something that I wanted to forget. And I went to my neighbor and I asked her to shoot me up because I needed to forget who I was and I wanted to forget everything. And I'm telling you, it is the best feeling in the world. Better than an orgasm. Like I love it. I love it. I don't do it anymore. I celebrate 13 years in December, but thank you. But it didn't have to happen because what I was supposed to have knee surgery and it got canceled by my insurance. And then the next time I scheduled it, I got the flu, so they had to cancel it. And then the next time I said to the doctor, I'm in a battered women's shelter with my 2 daughters. I can't do it because they have to literally move my tibias over. So I'll be on bed rest for like 6 months.
Roby
Thank
says
you.
congratulations.
Thank you.
He changed his name because that's what we call him. We call him Whooby because
Okay.
it's his Whooby.
But it's like,
don't call him Poncho Liner because he'll get mad.
Okay, Carlos. But
I'm gonna fire.
But
Stop using my government name.
When I said to the doctor, like, I can't do it, it's just not plausible, he cut my script. And I was buying them from my neighbor, but her dealer ran out. And that's when some places they call them Perk 30s, some they call them Blues. We called them Roxy's. It is Oxycontin, but it's instant release, not extended release. The first time I took it was a Thursday, and I was told exactly what you were told. Cut it into 4s and only take a quarter. I was wrecked and I was puking and all of that. By that Sunday, I had to take 3 pills just to feel the effects to have my pain taken. That's how fast my tolerance built up to it.
So,
and then I started shooting it and rehab. And finally, it took a year after my surrender trip to get 90 days in a row because I kept going back to it. You know, obviously I see now, well, I was going back to people I thought were friends and they weren't. They were just people I used with. But when I went to the methadone clinic, you know, you sit there and they teach you all about it. They do the physical. And I was puking and I remember calling them when I got home and they start you off on a very small dose. And I called them and I'm like, I can't stop throwing up. And they're like, it's because you're not on enough. So we'll make sure to double up your dose tomorrow. And then I was puking and I was like fucking miserable for a week, like just puking my guts out. So I talked to a friend and he worked at a pain management office. So he brought me in and I told the doctor, like, I keep on throwing up. Like, I don't understand because like my withdrawals aren't that bad. And I don't think that I'm not on enough. Like I wasn't using that much. And I talked to other people that are on the methadone dose that I am. And I mean, they were shooting like 20, 30 bags of heroin a day. So he's like, 1 sec. And he walked in the other room and brought in a little tablet. It was a 2 milligram methadone tablet. He's like, lick this. So I did and instantly started puking. I'm allergic. The methadone clinic didn't know that because they're not doctors. They're barely nurses.
Wow.
So he put me on Suboxone. What?
Wait, I totally missed. It just went. The doctor comes in and says, lick it. You just licked it.
Yeah, lick the tablet. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, just lick the tablet. And then you threw up.
Anyway. It's not as funny like 5
You've
minutes
heard it
later.
before. I mean, you've heard that.
Well, so
being
he
said
put
to you
me
before.
Well, he put me on Suboxone and I was supposed to take 1 pill, half in the morning, half at night. My withdrawals were worse on Suboxone than than when I did it cold turkey. Yeah, you do. But So they upped my dose of the Suboxone. But here's the thing. Do you know that Suboxone and methadone are both opiates?
Yeah.
So you're not getting clean at all. Like
It's
you're just transferring one addiction to another. You're still on opiates. You're just on a different one that's controlled by a doctor. Okay, but your addiction started on a pain medication controlled by a doctor. So how safe is it really? So when I finally did get clean, I did it cold turkey. I was miserable for, I mean, day 4 was the worst, but I really think that's why I'm clean, because I did it cold turkey. If I didn't go through that pain, and it was bad. I probably drank 10 gallons of fucking NyQuil and Pepto. I just mixed them together. But it's like they told me that Suboxone was gonna make it so if I relapsed, I would not feel the effects of the opiates. Now, fast forward, so this was 2010 to 2013. I go to a neurologist who doesn't want to diagnose me with MS because I was too young, and he gives me Suboxone patches. And for my breakthrough pain, he gave me 2 or 8 milligram Dilaudid if my breakthrough pain level was over a 5, and a 5 milligram Percocet if it was under 5. How is it that the Suboxone was supposed to block the effects of opiates if I took them, but now you want me taking both? They lie.
Yeah.
And if I had listened to that doctor and done those patches, the second I took a Dilaudid because of my breakthrough pain, which actually wouldn't have been breakthrough pain, it would have been withdrawal pain, I would have overdosed. I was less than 100 pounds back then. But I just think it's fucked up how they made, like, it has a very, like, you've seen Wolf of Wall Street, right?
Yeah.
It has a very Wolf of Wall Street feel to it, the Painkiller series. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They get all pharmaceutical does. That's why when they talk about this, all this pharmaceutical stuff, it's all bullshit. When they're like, well, we're going to go after these guys. No, you're not. You're not going to do anything. You're just going to regulate.
Even when they do, and Pfizer had to pay out the biggest settlement in history, where did that money go? It didn't go to the people that were hurt by the medications. It went to the government. And what is the government doing with that money?
Giving it to Ukraine.
Yeah. Well, now, yeah.
Speaking of, did you see they asked for another $25 billion?
Yeah, I know.
Those motherfuckers.
And now they're trying to make a claim that Russia has invaded Poland's airspace.
I thank God I live in the middle of nowhere. I'm just happy about that. I'm not on the coasts.
You know, you're not that far from the presidential bunker, right?
Huh?
So you're not far from the presidential bunker where George Bush went during 9/11. Like, we are a target where we're at.
Well, then I hope it's over quick then. Then I just hope it's over quick. And speaking of addiction, that's kind of how when I got sober, like, ooh, excuse me. When I got sober, I did it cold turkey. Because, you know, I drank and you think like 20 fucking years I drank at least every night for a good 15, 16 years with my ex-wife. And it just got to a point when I was with Trish, it was like, I was hiding it. I was doing the things that I said I would never do.
Yeah.
I was hiding it in different places. Like, her dad just found a little bottle of Pink Whitney over the 4th of July weekend that I hid in his truck. It was done. It was gone. But yeah, I was hiding it in places. I was buying multiple bottles. Like, I would forget that I bought a bottle and just buy a bottle. And then I'd go in my truck and I'd be like, oh, there's a bottle here. And like, so it was getting to the point where it was real bad. and I was having the shakes. I was waking up in the morning and you know, having to take a shot 2 a.m, 3 a.m, like, oh, I got work in a couple hours, I'll be fine. And then it got to a point like what happened was I was up for like 4 days straight. I couldn't sleep. And I was drinking, and my vision started to get really blurry.
Oh, I've helped someone through alcohol detox. It's terrible.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome, Chris. Good for you. That, you know, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, his clean date is actually 10 days before mine, except I'm 13 years, not 12 years.
But yeah, my vision was blurry. I started seeing like little things in my eyes, and I couldn't do it anymore. I was like, I knew as soon as I took that first drink, I knew my attitude had changed automatically. My attitude, and I was telling myself that I knew I was going to do it. I knew that as soon as I took that first shot, I was not going to be the same person. And I did it anyway because of the addiction, because of the normalcy, and because I didn't know who I was. You know, drinking for all that time and being, you know, you don't know who you are. You don't know if you feel like you're going to lose yourself. You think like you don't, you're not going to be the same person. And you have at least the alcohol to blame. You can be a dick and just be like, I'm sorry, I was drunk. And Trish made me realize that it doesn't matter if you're drunk. You're still an asshole. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're drunk or not. Even when you're drinking, you know that you're doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
So you're actively becoming an asshole because you kind of want to become an asshole and because you want to be that person. And it took a lot, and that's why I give.
Well, I don't think it's. I don't think
tell a story without you interrupting. You've interrupted me the entire time.
Shut up! I just wanted to make a statement.
Your statements go on for a half hour.
It won't. I don't think it's just that you want to be an asshole. I also think there is a huge part where you're trying to numb pain and not be present in your life.
Yeah, you're right. Because I didn't. I wanted to numb the pain. I wanted to numb everything that I had ever been through. Everything. Like, listen, if you talk to people, they tell you I had a great upbringing and a great this, and it wasn't. It wasn't a great, you know.
Well, it's like
I was locked. I was literally I make fun of you for being locked in a cage. I was locked in a bathroom.
Yeah, because that's so much worse. I peed in a bucket. You peed in a toilet.
You want to compare traumas? I'm gonna fucking traumatize your face with my
fucking
elbow.
Let's play the trauma game and see who had it worse.
No, listen. I know who had it worse. Let's not play this. But yeah, I was locked in a bathroom. Like, and I wanted to forget all of that shit. I wanted to forget who I was every single day. I had my kid, which I felt in my head was stolen from me. I had my kid not like me, and I had, you know, parents who were okay with it. You know, my mother was like, well, you know, at least, you know, her mom, and so like I had all the shit that I wanted to forget, you know, and when I got with Trish, she took a lot of the brunt of that anger, and I feel I'm sorry that I did that to her. I truly am. She never deserved that. She never deserved that. But when I finally, you know, was up for days and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I have this great woman who is there for me no matter what I do and no matter what, you know, I was hurting myself. Like, I wasn't like I was smashing my head on the ground. I was punching myself. Like, I was hurting myself because I had so much internalized anger from everything. And she sat through it, and she sat there and she watched it after the things she had confided in me and told me that she didn't like that people did that to themselves. And I did it. And so when I was up those days, like, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And finally, my buddy who we used to use together, who got who kept on getting sober, going back, getting sober, going back. He had finally gotten sober after a couple of years, and I called him and I said, dude, I need you to take me to church.
Yeah.
I need to go to church. I need to quit drinking. I need to get sober. I need to end this. I have to, because it was taking a toll on me mentally and physically.
Well, and here's
so we went to church, and ever since that day, I haven't looked back. I haven't looked back. And life for me is good. I mean, with all the shit that I haven't, with all the shit that we've talked about that I've been going through the last couple months, like the fact that I didn't turn back to drinking.
But you have to be careful now that you're single.
Yeah, I know. No, I don't want. Listen, I know right now, and it's today. Right now, today, if I sniff like alcohol, I get kind of sick. It gives me like a queasy, stomachy feeling, and that's today. Tomorrow could be different.
Yeah.
But for today, it does, and I thank God that every day that happens, that I continue my sobriety. And now I think it's just a fuck you. I'm gonna see. I'm making. I've never stuck through anything. I've never finished anything in my entire life, and I've never. Every time I never followed through. I've never. That's a big thing that I need to work on myself, is the follow through, because I always say I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And then I get to the point where I'm almost done, and for some reason I don't get it, Cal. I don't. For some reason, and I get angry at myself when I'm about to finish something. I don't finish it, but I think it's because I feel that it's not going to be good enough.
Yeah,
I feel that if I finish it and turn it in, it's not going to be what it's supposed to be. It's not going to be correct, and I'm scared to get that feedback and get that, like, oh, you did this wrong. And it scares the fuck out of me.
Well, and here's like what I realized when I was watching this. So the opiate crisis was mainly in the late 90s, early 2000s. That's when it was at its peak. So
what we said, a little personal side note, when I got back from Afghanistan in 2016, I went down a deep hole and started drinking so much. It was a 30 rack of beer and at least a handle of whiskey a day. Holy crap. How's your liver, Whoop?
But it's like, so at that time, I was late teens, early 20s.
Hold on, sorry, one more thing. Then I met my wife, and we had our first daughter, and started going back to church, and I stopped drinking that much.
Yeah, I went back to church, and that's how I got sober too.
Yeah. But that was the first thing I did was go to church. So
the opiate crisis was when our generation was late teens, early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were kids, it was you eat what's on the table or you don't eat at all. Go to bed without dinner. The weapon of ass destruction, the wooden spoon, or in your case, flip-flops. We were traumatized. We were abused by our parents. I mean, I was way more, but even someone with a quote unquote like normal childhood was still abused and still dealt with trauma. That was around around the time the opiate crisis was going on, was when they were moving out of their house and they were starting to see what normalcy was. They were starting to have kids, they were getting married. And it's like when people, like the age where people started realizing, like, dude, my parents are fucking assholes. So take a pill and numb the pain. Like there's so many things that fueled this, and they haven't stopped it, and they're not going to. Like it was oxys back then, and now it's fentanyl and carfentanil and some other something fentanyl. They're not stopping it. They don't care. They want us addicted.
Yeah, they want.
And their solution is to send us to go get other opiates that are addictive. And it's like the detox that I went to, they gave us like a cocktail. It had Darvocet, which is a very, very weak. I mean, they don't even prescribe it for anything. And to wean you off to kind of alleviate the symptoms, they give you trazodone so you can sleep, and they give you an anti-anxiety, usually Valium, because it helps with tremors and stuff. Most detox places just give you methadone. Like, you're not detoxing at all. And then you got to sit in the group meetings, and this is even at rehab, and talk about fucking drugs 24/7. Your whole day is talking about drugs, with them telling you to stop talking about drugs. And they're never going to fix that.
No. They don't want to fix it.
But oxys, opiates, heroin are Schedule 2s. You want to know what is a Schedule 1? Weed, psychedelics, MDMA, ketamine, all things that are medically able to help are Schedule 1s, which they can't do clinical trials on. Doctors can't prescribe it. So many different things, but the things that keep you addicted.
Yeah.
Permanent patients.
Yeah. Well, why do you think they promote fucking McDonald's and all this stuff? They want you fat, dumb, and stupid. Fat, dumb, and lazy.
My daughter was just in the hospital a couple weeks ago with kidney stones. And she's like, Mom, I don't understand. Why do I have kidney stones? Because your diet is fucking McDonald's, child. Yeah. Eat some real food.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can't trust any three-letter government agency. I'm sorry. The FDA, the CDC, the FBI, the ATF. And
the Supreme Court is actually taking a case. I'd have to ask Mitch which one it is. That's supposed to strip the power away from the ABC places. So basically, the ATF can ban something right now. Anything about guns.
Yeah, that's the brace. They want to ban the brace, which is stupid. It's stupid.
It is stupid.
But here's the thing. Here's what is even dumber is that you have these people making these laws saying that it makes it into an automatic weapon. Like, they don't know what they're talking about.
They're not Congress. They are just a bunch of people. They're not supposed to be able to ban things. And it's like with these, the FDA is seizing these at the ports when they get here and saying, well, we didn't FDA approve them. So these are going to go away. They are going to completely ban vaping by not approving it. And that's the Supreme Court case that they're going to take up, is to strip the power away from the DEA, the FBI, all these agencies, so they can't ban things, the CDC too.
But hold on a second. Hold on 1 second, okay? They're doing all that. Why are they putting out heroin dispensaries all over fucking towns? Why are they giving people kits for heroin, for clean needles and all this and water? Like, what do we need that for? Why do we need a soda machine for that kind of shit? But
here's the thing.
But they won't allow these. That's what I'm talking about.
So I am in support of clean injection sites. They have them in Sweden, Norway, Finland, up in that area, and they are very successful. It's not like you just walk in and shoot up and everything is A-okay. There's a nurse there. There is someone that will make sure that they have Narcan and all that stuff, yada, yada. But they also give you resources if you want to get clean. And it has reduced the addiction rate and the death rate in other countries.
That's fine. And like I said, I'm not talking about
but the clean needles. The clean needles came in because
but I'm not. I'm talking about the vending machines. I'm not talking about the clean needles
here.
Yes, they do. They have them in New York. That was the whole thing.
You sound like a robot.
That was the whole. You're a robot. No, that was the whole thing in New York.
You still sound like a robot, dude. You're glitching out.
They don't want us to talk. They don't want us to talk like this. That's why. No, in New York, they actually have.
Get better internet.
My internet is fine. It's not showing I have a problem. It's my DEA. It's my ATF agent. I'm telling you. It's Dante. Dante, get away. Go away, Dante. But no, you can't hear me? It's your
No.
headphones because you just took them off.
No,
Whoopi,
you
Whoopi,
were
can you hear
fucking
me?
frozen.
Whoopi, can you hear me?
Now we can.
It's your fucking head. It's your head.
It's
I
not
swear
my
to God,
head.
it's the mechanics in your head. You think you just had a seizure.
All I saw was and heard. You were glitched out.
Anyway, I'm not talking about the clean side. I'm talking about like they're giving people in ATM, like they're giving people in I forget the word of it, like vending machines. They're giving people stuff in vending machines to get the stuff. Clean sites where they go and have people do it, whatever. That's fine, good. And if it's weaning them off, good. But they're just giving vending machines, like if people are really going to go get the vending machine stuff, take it to an alley and go, hey, you got a clean needle? Okay, cool. No, they're not going to do that.
Where are there vending machines that have heroin in it?
Not heroin, the needles and stuff. I'm talking about the needles, heroin kits. They're giving it.
Okay, so what's your problem? They're still buying heroin.
And they're banning these, is what I'm saying. That's the problem. That was the
these
whole.
affect big tobacco. That's an easy answer.
I understand it, but that's what I'm saying. They don't care about you. They don't care about us. They're banning these and not letting these in the port, yet they're allowing vending machines full of stuff to I'm yelling. I gotta stop.
I don't know where I've never seen a vending machine, but the place where I had my active addiction, you could just go into a pharmacy and ask for needles and they'd give them to you. It's not that I don't believe you. I thought you meant they were giving heroin out and
no. No, they're.
But what's your problem with them giving out clean needles?
I'm not talking about the problem of giving away clean needles. I'm talking about they're having vending machines for it. Meanwhile, they're telling you these are bad for you. That's my problem. Okay. My problem is that they're telling you these are bad for you and not importing them, yet they have vending machines with clean needles and shit in it. That was the whole reason for that whole dissertation I just was talking about.
I didn't hear. It glitched on my end.
Because your synapse is not connected to your brain properly, you did not understand what the fuck I was just talking about.
Yes, sir.
I'm typing.
Yes, sir. It sounds like you and my husband would really get along, Whoopi.
Get along with you? Oh, Whoopi's awesome.
Him and my husband.
Whoopi's awesome. Here. Present.
Oh, there was an update on Matt Hoover's case.
Here. Nevada becomes first state to install syringe vending machines. So yeah, so this is allowed.
Well, you want to hear something else that's like kind of fucked up about the FDA that a lot of people don't know?
What?
You know, tampons, pads, all of that, they are considered medical devices. It is no different than a wheelchair or a cane. So they don't have to go through the same testing. So women are using products that are not being tested on how they affect your body. And some of them are actually inserted inside of your body. But see, I had the
women insert men that they don't know about inside of their body too, but they continue to do it.
Like a lot of kids and like young women don't even know what toxic shock syndrome is. Like I got an argument with my brother's wife that the menstrual cup can cause toxic shock syndrome. She's like, no, it doesn't. I'm like, yeah, it does. All of that stuff does it because they don't test it because they're considered medical devices. But also, I had a Mirena in and I got really bad back pain from it. And I called the FDA and asked if it was permanent or if it would go away because my doctor told me to call the FDA. They had no idea. They're like, we don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? Like, you put the side effect in the insert, but you don't know how long it lasts. Well, after the trials are over, we don't follow up. So every side effect on every medication, you have no idea how severe it is because once the trials are over, they don't keep track. And
He just
I got a
he just
funny
sent
story.
me he just sent me the letter he got from the ATF.
I got a funny story about Viagra. Do you know how they found out Viagra treated ED?
Yeah, because it was a heart medication.
So I talked to a pharmacist, and he said during the trials, they gave them out to men and women. And when the trial's over, you have to give all the medication back, and all the men refused to give them back. And that's how they found out that it treats ED. I said it was all the older, like all the elderly men were just like, no, we're not giving it back. I'm like, I can just picture like a 70-year-old guy holding like a whole bunch of bottles of pill, like, nope.
It's like when you ghost a girl, the FDA calls you back and you're like, who's this? Sir, can you bring your medication back? I don't know who sir is. Goodbye. It's just, excuse me. You know, I got your kid. We got child support. Who the fuck are you? I don't know who the fuck you are. So can you get out of my can you get from my porch? Excuse me, sir. It's we need our medication back. No, go fuck yourself.
I was like, I did not like. I knew that there was a way that they because like I did ask someone how they found out that anticonvulsants treat bipolar disorder, and so is mine. And
big dick.
It's bigger than his. And they said that during the trials for anticonvulsants, they noticed the bipolar patients that their bipolar got treated. So I just assumed it was something like that. I didn't realize that men were like, you can't have them back. They're mine.
This shit hasn't moved in years. Fuck that. I haven't had blood flow down there. Marge, come check this out. Look at this. You better get ready. I'm about to give you the best 4 seconds of your life. Could you imagine some old man the first time he took that and didn't know what was happening, and like it was just like the poor old woman probably like fucking shot across the room because his prostate hadn't worked in years. Like all of a sudden, like his prostate now works, and it's just like she just smashes against the wall. That poor old lady. That's somebody's great grandmother that probably got wrecked. Grandma had been baking a pie for all the kids, and the next thing you know, her fucking graham cracker hip just split in half, and grandma's in the hospital. Grandma's in the hospital with a broken hip, and grandpa's in the hospital with a fucking broken penis. It won't go down. Oh, that's got to be a fun family reunion or fun family Sunday dinner. Hey, Grandpa, what happened?
Speaking of broken penises, did you know that like 19 and 20-year-old girls don't know that penises don't have bones in them?
Yeah.
They always ask me. They're like, did you know?
I don't understand why they're called a boner, because they don't have a bone in it. Like, I don't.
Who knows? like a rabbit. But I mean, yeah, I can't, like, I don't have a penis. I would love to have a toy in my pants, but I can't imagine like the thing never working and and all of a sudden it's just at attention.
It's not.
Like, can you just picture the look on the old man's face, like to his wife, like,
yeah. Oh, I can. Yeah, I can. Have you seen Bad Boys 2 when Martin Lawrence like takes the Molly and he's just like,
oh my God.
And he's so happy about it. Like that was Grandpa.
Yeah, he's like, it's working.
Yeah.
Call the wife. I am on the way.
Yeah.
That is the best fucking scene.
Yeah.
Mike.
I like this fish. This is a nice fucking fish.
Big fucking eyes, but a good fish.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my God, no. Oh, speaking of ED.
Speaking of, your segues
No, no.
are
What I'm talking
amazing.
about. I read an article.
Somebody built a house with their ED.
I read an article a few years ago. This poor journalist was looking into the fact that there was a rise in erectile dysfunction in veterans that were servicing out of the military. She did so much research.
I bet she did.
She tried to figure out if it was because of, the trauma of the war, all this stuff. I commented, I'm like, it could be that it's not able to be disproved and it's an automatic 10% on disability.
Whoopi, jot that down. Whoopi, jot that down, because I know you're trying to get to that.
But it's
jot
like
it down.
legit when they process out. They're like,
the
say
wife.
you have ED. I was laughing so hard because like there's a couple things that they can't disprove. Like they can't just.
How do you do that? Like scientifically, do you just walk by a guy? Like, is the doctor naked and she just walks by him? And if they don't like stand at attention, does she like slap it and try to find out what's wrong?
That's why it's so easy to lie about it, because they can't disprove it without sexually assaulting you. But this poor girl, she really cared about our vets' penises and if they work or not. And this answer was simple, that the VA cannot disprove it and it's an automatic 10% disability rating. But at least she cares about our service.
I salute her service.
Well, it's like they forgot to service connect it for Mitch. And I'm like, so when you don't get something service connected, your family member can write what's called a buddy letter. I'm like, please. He's like, no, it's in my medical records. I'm like, but can I write a buddy letter about it? He's like, no. I'm like, please.
Page 12. And all right.
I bought a maid outfit and my husband's penis still didn't stand at attention, much like when he was in the military and he couldn't stand at attention because being airborne fucked up his back. I would post pictures too. Oh, I'm
and on that note, and on that note,
they can't deny it, dude.
I tried.
Get him in touch with Mitch. Mitch can help him with a lot of things about disability.
Well, I'll be up there tomorrow to hug my buddy Mitch.
And sleep in bed with him.
Yeah. Page 69, my PP doesn't work due to these reasons. No, for her to be, his PP doesn't work due to this reason. But yeah, I am going to go up there and meet Kelly and Mitch tomorrow. Probably end up doing the weekend hangover.
And my son is so excited.
Yeah, and everybody's excited to meet me. I don't know.
Well,
why.
you can play the Oculus. We have
I'll bring mine.
Okay.
Thanks for reminding me.
And we have a projector, so we can watch some good movies too out in the living room.
Okay. But yeah, so I'll probably end up doing the weekend hangover up there. Weekend hangover. I don't know. I still don't know what we're watching. We haven't talked about it, but
you're gonna use these and be like, "Fuck, my shit sucks."
And then I'm gonna make Mitch's wiener stand at attention so I can get one. What?
I'll just ask them.
But yeah, so I'll probably be doing weekend hangover from over there. I'm going to go on a worldwide tour eventually. I'm gonna come, see people.
That's what I was thinking. Like, we should save up and take our podcast on the road.
I'm down. I'm down for that.
I just got to bring Nigeria and Owen. Other than
that's
that,
fine. That's fine.
Like,
Eventually, we'll get a big tour bus and we'll just drive around. We should go to like yeah. Well, you know what? We'll talk about it tomorrow.
I want to go
I
to
wanna
New
do that.
York. I want to go to New York, Seattle, Portland, those kinds of places,
I
and ask
want-
the questions like, how many states are there? That's
Okay.
correct.
Yeah, listen, we can talk about this. We'll workshop some stuff tomorrow because I want to do that. I really do. I want to go out in the street and I want to go and talk to people and ask them questions, and not like the shitty ways like they do. Like, do you know the
What we can
Constitution? Do you know the Constitution? And then like edit
You
it.
know what's happening right now? The Iowa State Fair. Carrie Lake's there. There's going to be a bunch of people there tomorrow. We can go out there.
Okay.
I guess in
I'm
Des
good with
Moines.
that. Yeah, I'm good with that. But once again, you can catch us here next Friday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 Eastern.
We will be having the most amazing guest in the world.
And talking about the most amazing vanilla bean woman, Taylor Swift.
Who has just announced last night that she is going to be releasing Taylor's version of 1989 in October.
And I can't wait. But yeah, so you can find me also this Sunday on the Weekend Hangover at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, with Mama J, my other co-host from the Business Party Podcast, where you can find me on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, at Business Party Network. Business Party Network. You find me at Business Party Network, but Business Party Podcast. Follow us on Twitter, Business Party Podcast. Also on Twitter, you can follow us also on Twitter at We Don't Know Either. You can follow us on YouTube at We Don't Know Either if you're watching from here also. Yeah, we do need an Insta. But yeah, like I said, we got business to talk about tomorrow. But yeah, thank you, Cal. You want to?
I was like, do I get a turn? So you can find me at the Unbroken Podcast. It is on all major podcast platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many others that I don't even know what they are. All my social media is attached to my nonprofit After the Last Sale Foundation's page. It's at the top, all the links. And there's also, I figured out how to add a link to my podcast. I'm on TikTok at Beautiful Mistake 24, but I don't use it and it's private and I probably won't accept your friend request.
Because she doesn't like friends.
Because I don't use TikTok.
On that note, maybe, we should do a live tomorrow. We should go live on TikTok. Yeah. We should go live on TikTok tomorrow and kind of do this like on live and see how that goes. Hopefully
like all the other big creators that do their meetups.
Their collabs. Yeah. But yeah.
We should have fun though. Like we should go to the mall or something and just be like, "Hey, we're from the We Don't Know podcast."
We should.
People will act like we're more important than we actually are.
We should. Sounds like a good idea. But with that, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Squirrel has faked its own death and then even staged a crime scene.